Heyo Islanders, good AI morning. Today we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff where we're going to convert string information into date time format. So sit back, relax, be your favorite snack, and let's get started, shall we? Heyo Islanders, I'm really excited to be showing all of you this really awesome data set in today's video. This data set, the reason why I think is so awesome is because it shows two types of columns that should be considered date time columns, but instead they're actually considered object columns. And those two columns I'm talking about is date and start time. All right. To the average eye, this may seem like, oh yeah, this is going to be some sort of time format, but instead when we look down into the info of our data set, we're going to see that date and start time are actually object columns. And this is a bad thing because our machine learning models, our artificial intelligence models, are actually going to be considering these two columns as a different type of column that we don't want to be going on. So what we're going to be doing today, and you all will be able to see, is that we're going to be able to go around this programmer's headache by being able to convert these two columns to date time format very simply and easily, essentially almost with 2 lines of code. So for those of you who are brand new to the channel, my name is William McKeon and you're watching On to Robotics. I am an electrical engineering student who failed out of a lot of electrical engineering classes, and somehow during that time I developed a love and passion for computer science and ended up teaching myself everything you all see on this channel, and inevitably I decided to switch from electrical engineering to the dark side of computer science. So with all that being said, why don't we start correcting this data set. All right, now, so the way that we're going to be able to make these corrections to this data set is by simply calling upon our our community's Python package irdatacleaning, and we're going to create an instance of that package called DateTime. Now we're going to set this equal to irdatacleaning.string to datetime. This is a class built into irdatacleaning that's going to essentially automate the whole process of converting those two cells into datetime formatted cells. Well, I said cells, but I meant columns. Now, in order to actually tell this class that we want the corrections made to that data set, what we're going to want to do within these parentheses is say data. All right. Now, when we run this, you have to also keep in mind while using this class that the way that this class operates is that there's a list of strings that I'm going to call upon right now. Timeless. This string, well, I keep saying string, I mean this list of strings is going to allow for this class to be making the automated decision on what columns need to have the date time formatted applied to them. And don't fret if you have a column, well, if you have a data set that has a column within it that needs to have the date time correction applied to it, but doesn't have a column name that's listed inside of this list, what you're going to want to do is go back into the instance of this class and you want to specify that column name by putting it within a list, and we're just going to say day of week. All right, and now when we run this, day of week is going to be applied to that list. All right, guys, so we create a brand new instance of our string to date time class. What we're going to want to do to tell that class to actually do its full automation of correcting those two columns to date time formatted columns, what we're going to want to do is create a brand new column, and we're going to say data, which is the name of our data set, is set equal to datetime.check. What this check method does is it tells our class to make a full automation of correcting those columns to datetime columns. So when we hit run real quick, and then we come into this brand new set and we say data.info, run this, we're going to be able to see that date, which up here was an object type column, has been converted into a date time column, as well as the same thing for start time. So really all that we did right here in this video was making artificial intelligence accessible to all you islanders. All right, guys, so go down in the description bar down below to get your very own version of the Python package, as well as the class you all see in today's video. The way you're going to be able to do that is there's going to be a pip command as well as an anaconda command down in the description bar down below. Now, say for instance, later on, you want to refer back to this video to figure out certain aspects of this class. What you're going to want to do is actually open up a Python console like what we got. Let me just get it real quick. Like what we got right here. And what you're going to want to do is say create an instance of that class or of the Python package, and you want to say datetime.resources. This resource method is going to then print out the links for the YouTube video for that specific class, as well as the GitHub link for that specific class. The YouTube video is what you're all watching right now, and the GitHub link is actually going to be a written out tutorial on how to use the class, much like how you all saw in today's video. Now, when you all get your own version of this class, there's going to be a link right after here, as well as there's going to be a link right after it is for the GitHub. So don't worry about that. That's just because the video hasn't been published, as well as the GitHub has not been published yet as of this recording. You know, Islanders, what I always find so fascinating is people's stories on how they got started with programming. Everyone has their own personal, unique story on why and how they got into programming. You all know why I got into programming and what the whole creation story to this channel is. And what I find even more fascinating than just how they got into programming, I also find it very fascinating on what their very first programming language was. So let me know down in the comment section down below, what was the very first programming language that you learned when you got started programming? For me, it was C++. And on your way down, don't forget to hit that like button so that I know you all enjoyed today's video. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, which could possibly be one of the videos popping up on the screen. So make sure to click on one of those videos if you want to learn more about artificial intelligence, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Happy coding.